Howdy, my name is Erica Madrano and my pronouns are she, her. I am a student employee at the LGBTQ plus Pride Center here at Texas A&M University in the offices of the Dean of Student Life. I would like to start out by introducing Dr. Iris Cassiano from Texas A&M's Counseling and Psychological Services, who will be doing a mindful breathing exercise with us today as we kick off our mindfulness events.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction, Erica. I'm Dr. Iris Castellano. I'm one of the staff psychologists here at Counseling and Psychological Services, and I'm super excited to be doing this with all of y'all today. I think it's like perfect timing. Erica and I were talking about this. This is the point of the semester where stress levels are super high. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and let's face it, this hasn't been the easiest year to get through. So taking a moment to take care of ourselves and engage in a practice like mindfulness can be a really healthy, restorative practice to include in our day-to-day life. So I'm super happy to be able to share that with all of y'all today. So before we get started, I thought I'd talk a little bit about like why breathing especially is super important, and then why mindfulness is so helpful. And I think that might be a great way to kind of kick off this event and this series with all of y'all. And the first part about like being aware of our breathing is just recognizing that connection between our mind and body. Both are intimately intertwined, right? The way that we think and feel and perceive our environment has a huge impact on how we feel physically, and vice versa. So when we take a moment to be attentive to that mind-body connection and to pay attention to what's happening for us, the more healthy and the more engaged with ourselves we feel. So, and we pay attention to our breath, especially because there's a lot of the physiological component of stress activates what I'm sure many of y'all have already heard about, the fight or flight response that we have, right? And when we get activated, that leads to further compounding these feelings of stress or anxiety. And we end up kind of living in this amped up state. So, mindful breathing is an antidote to that elevated state of physical arousal. It helps us to take a moment to slow down, connect with our body. Again, with that mindful intentiveness, we can actually have an influence on how our body is responding to the environment or to these stressors. And we can actually counter all of that negative feeling and all of that stress by taking that time to attend to it. So, mindful breathing is sometimes called slow breathing. And it's really about paying attention to that breath and taking time to really work through it. So, before we dive into the mindfulness piece, I'm going to ask that all of us just take a quick second, kind of get centered with wherever you're sitting or standing or wherever you happen to be. And let's start to build some awareness about what our breath looks like. Sometimes it's helpful to have one hand on our chest and then one hand on our belly. And we're going to kind of pay attention to like when we just take a breath, where's our breath going? Does it go up here in our chest? If we're feeling stressed, if we're feeling anxious, it's likely to be up here. When we're more relaxed and calm, we feel that breath down here in our belly. For those of us who do things like choir or singing or have taken voice classes, we'll call this diaphragmatic breathing. Or if you do yoga, this is also a big component of yogic breathing. So what we want to start paying attention to is where that breath is going. And then if we need to change it to slow down and calm down, we're going to move from that chest breath to our belly breath. So let's just take a quick second. And Erica, if you'll do this with me, let's just take a big upper chest breath together and just see what that feels like. Like, oh man, it's like all up here. Okay. What was that like for you?
Life, that's how I breathe when I'm stressed. So just to try to regulate my heart.
I hear that. I hear that. And that's the part where like it gets easier when we're feeling stress and pressured to breathe up here, because again, that's our body trying to react to this fight or flight response and get ready to take action. The problem is that keeps us upregulated and keeps us tense. So let's counter that by trying to take a deep breath with our belly instead. So try to sink it really low and take it nice and slow. And that feels really different. Like when it's grounded down here, there's no way to take the air in fast. You have to take it in slow. and it's a much more calming, relaxing breath. Did you happen to notice a difference for yourself, Erica?
I did. It was less like I felt less pressure when I was breathing rather than a quick breath through your chest.
Awesome, awesome. That's such good awareness of what you're feeling in your body. So now that we've kind of gotten a good sense of the difference between breathing up here versus breathing down here, today in the mindful breathing meditation that we're going to do next, we're going to try to really focus on breathing deep in our belly and going nice and slow and focusing on that breath. And that's going to tie into the mindfulness component. And mindfulness is all about attending to the present with non-judgmental observation, right? We're just noticing things when we're being mindful. We're noticing the present moment. We're existing in the present moment, and we're not approaching it in a judgmental way. This is a good antidote to when we're feeling really stressed and our mind is racing about things that happened in the past, and it's worried about stuff that's going to happen in the future. We find ourselves existing everywhere else except in the present moment. Not a very healthy way of being, and kind of disorienting, and adding to that sense of stress. So mindfulness asks us to return to the present moment and to just be grounded in that non-judgmental sense of awareness. So now that's the mind piece. We've talked about the body piece by attending to our breath, and we're going to combine that together by doing a very simple mindfulness or mindful breathing exercise. And this is something that we can incorporate in our day-to-day. In fact, it's recommended to do it daily as we build up our practice, just because it will become habit. At first, it's going to be maybe a little bit challenging, but the more you do it, the easier it's going to be, and the more connected to the present moment and your body you're going to be. So it's a really healthy, simple exercise to start becoming more mindful or introducing a little bit more mindfulness in our day-to-day and relieve a little stress in the process too. So let's get comfy. Wherever we're sitting, just take a moment to find a nice spot. I'm going to invite everyone to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And we're going to slowly start drawing our attention to our breath. We're going to pay attention as we inhale slowly through our nose and try to fill the belly. Try to connect with that feeling that we practiced earlier today. And now slowly exhale, just paying attention to the breath as it leaves your body. Let's move through this together one more time. Inhaling slowly through our nose, feeling our belly expand as the air moves through us. Maybe we hold for a moment before slowly releasing our breath through our mouths. Pay attention to that feeling of the air as it leaves your body. Again, we draw our breath, paying attention, staying focused in this moment, attending to what your body feels like as the air slowly enters and fills your belly, and as you release. For at least a few moments, you're going to be with your breath. Nothing else needs your attention. You are here for yourself in this moment. With each inhalation, try to become more aware of new sensations that maybe you haven't noticed before. What does the air feel like as it passes over your lips, as it moves within your body, and as you slowly release your breath? Gradually continue breathing in and breathing out, allowing yourself to just be, being present with yourself, being present with this moment, and observing your breath. Notice if your mind starts to wander. That's okay. Simply pay attention, acknowledge it, and then draw your focus back to your breath. yourself some room to appreciate this moment, to appreciate the physical sensations moving through your body as you breathe. Notice as other parts of your body might gradually start to relax. The more you focus on this moment, the more attention you give to your breathing. Be mindful again if your attention wanders. Simply notice this in a non-judgmental way and return your focus to your breath. Paying attention as you inhale and as you exhale. In this moment, there is nothing more present than you connecting with your body, connecting with this moment in time, and with this physical presence. Take a few more slow breaths, savoring each inhalation, enjoying each slow exhalation. When you're ready, start opening your eyes. Reconnect with the world around you. It's okay to take some small movements. And once you're ready, you can move forward. Thank you for trying that with me, Erica.
It was really relaxing. Thank you.
Yeah. What did you notice for yourself as you were having this experience?
Well, when you were talking, it was very calming, and I did have some stress before we got on our Zoom, and as soon as we did that, I really felt like there was nothing else to worry about. I was really focusing on my breathing, so all my attention was on that and nothing else. So I enjoyed it.
Nice. I'm so happy to hear that. This is such a simple, easy exercise. And it's a great way to, like, when we're feeling stressed and when we're on autopilot, because we're always having to do more and be everywhere and have so many expectations. This is a moment to just slow down, pay attention to what's going on for ourselves, and release some of that tension through this process of mindfulness. So I'm so happy that you notice that difference in yourself too with just these few short moments.
I will definitely be using this for finals and any other stresses that may come after finals.
I'm glad to hear that. And speaking of which, like I shared some those links with you. So one of them has, another very brief mindful breathing meditation. So, if folks want more and want to have like other ways to practice it, that might be some great resources for them.
I'll definitely share it with them. So thank you to Dr. Iris Cassiano for leading our mindful breathing exercise. If you enjoyed our mindful breathing exercise, we have 2 more mindfulness events coming up, which is the loving kindness meditation with Dr. Tommy Wild on November 23rd and our grounding exercise with Dr. CB on November 24th. Make sure to follow Texas A&M's Counseling and Psychological Services on social media so you can be updated with all their events. And also don't forget to follow the LGBTQ plus Pride Center on social media, as well as to subscribe to our newsletter to be up to date on all of our events. For students who will be going through finals soon, like I am, we will be having our Rainbow Relaxing Days with a wide variety of activities. If you're interested in participating, we're going to be providing kits for painting, knitting, gingerbread house making, snowflake decorating, and much more. So I highly recommend that we do that. And as well, after our meeting, I will be sharing the links with y'all. And please practice these breathing exercises. They really help.
Erica, thank you so much. It was so great.
Thank you.